Okay.
And we're going live.
Okay. So we finished chapter 6. Today we're going to do the Haggah, the footnote the Alter Rebbe puts in the side of chapter 6, which is a footnote that is in the context of the Alter Rebbe saying how everything comes from God, although there's many klippos, all these layers and shells that cover up the world. Everything is connected to the Ein Sof. So seemingly, how can you merge both together? On one side, it's all Hashem. On the other side, we say this klipa is Sitra Achra, the other side, other than being nullified to God, as we explained at length. And the author is going to explain this in based on the Arizal's teachings. In Beyesh Beteche Eser Sfiris Dasiya de Kedusha Mishkosu Beit Chaim Sharnun Sharmem Gimel. Now this world, we said, is filled of klippos, majority klippos, a little good in this world. And this world is called the world of action, the world of Asiyah Gashmi, the physical world of Asiyah. It's the lowest world in all the holy Shtashla. That is the final and last destination, is the lowest is this world. Although there's also an Asiyah for Kedusha, there's a spiritual reflection of this world. It's called the spiritual Asiyah. We're in the physical Asiyah. So although the 10 spheres within the world of Asiyah of Kedusha, u'beseich eser spheres da Asiyah elu hen eser spheres de Yitzira, u'beseich hen eser spheres de Bria, u'beseich hen eser spheres de Asilus. Now, although we're talking about the 10 spheres of the world of Asiyah, the holy Asiyah, which is the spiritual Asiyah, still in the 10 spheres of Asiyah that contain the 10 spheres of Yitzira, which in them is contained the 10 spheres of Bria, which in them is contained the 10 spheres of Atzilus. That means you have to look at it in a way of Ishtashlis. Ishtashlis means Ishtashlis means the order, the chain-like order of descent. Yeah. Everything is connected. That means what was above is enclosed to below until it goes down to this world. Which in the 10 spheres of Atzilus, what is revealed over there? The Ein Sof, God's infinite light, blessed be He, which is one with God's very infinite light. V'nimtza, therefore we deduce from here what is thus found. Hashem's infinite light fills up this lowest world. Through its enclosement in the 10 spheres of the 4 worlds, from Atzilus down to Bria, down to Yisra, down to Asiyah. That means even though this room is said to be majority klippos, and seemingly there's Ruvei Ra, Me'at Tev, and it's a world of Sitra Achra, really what's really going on, because in the spiritual reflection of this world, called the world of Asiyah Kadesha, the spiritual world of Asiyah, is included 10 spheres of Yisra, which include 10 spheres of Bria, which include the 10 spheres of Atzilus, which in 10 spheres of Atzilus, you mamish have the Ein Sof revealed. That means in this world, although possibly in a hidden way, it's enclosed, it's islapshus, it's enclosed within the spheres. It means the whole entire world is really filled with Hashem's Ein Sof.
But it's a higher type of light that comes down each time, right?
No, the lower it goes, the more concealment.
Right, which also the height, which is even higher. Because the darkest place contains the highest amount of light.
Potentially, yeah. Potential. That's the purpose, yeah.
It's like in the letter of the Rambam, his son, he asked his son, why am I seeing what I'm seeing in Israel, you know? He said, because now you're actually understanding this is Israel.
Yeah. Mishkosu Beit Chaim, Sharman Zapek Beis Sefer Gulin Per Kaf. Like this is explained at length in the Eitz Chaim and Sefer Gilgulin, which explain this idea that on one side there's pure infinite light revealed of Hashem everywhere, and there's nothing else but Hashem. On the other side, it's enclosed within the many contractions and the layers and klippos onto this world, so that in this world we don't see Kedusha necessarily in a revealed way. So the point is, Ein Sof Baruch Hu fills the whole entire earth, down below.
But the Tzaddik does, just like in the Matrix.
Which fills all of the physical world completely. I mean, the whole world is mamish filled with the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. Okay, so that was the Haggah, and the summary of the chapter 6, which is about to start chapter 7, Summary of chapter 6 is that we spoke about the powers of the soul of the other side, the animal soul, which is called the Sitra Achra, the other side. Just like the godly soul has 10 powers, 3 garments, so too the animal soul has 10 powers and 3 impure garments. And the godly soul, we explained, is the three garments are higher than the soul, because the 3 garments are the garments of Torah. When a Jew thinks Torah, speaks Torah, and does a mitzvah, he's elevating his godly soul. And so too on the other side, and the impure side of the animal soul, is that the animal soul's garments bring down the impurity of the animal soul, and even it purifies the godly soul in many ways, and the body as well, that it brings it down to the other side. Because the garments of the animal soul, when they're used for impure reasons, for the Sitra Achra, then it invests all the 10 soul powers of the animal soul into the Klipa and Sitra Achra. And that's what means Sitra Achra, we said, it's a side other than Kedusha, and opposing Kedusha. Because Kedusha is whatever is surrendered to Hashem's Kedusha, to Hashem's holiness. That Hashem only dwells in a place that is nullified to Him. And Yidden have this, at least in a potential state. We have the power of Mesiras Nefesh, of getting us ready to surrender to Hashem, and therefore by Yid, especially when 10 Jews come together, they're together channeling the Kedusha of Hashem. And whatever is not nullified to Hashem receives its vitality also from God, but from the exterior part of Hashem's letter, as we explained, which is a very condensed small light of Hashem that falls into Galus, into that side, in order to enliven them. And therefore, this world, which is not nullified to Hashem, is a world of klipos, a world of separation, where all the action of this world could be harsh and evil. And so this is the lowest world when it comes to the state of concealment. And in klipos we have 2 levels, they also explain. There's the lowest level, which is the 3 completely impure klipos, which have no good inside of them. Meaning, although it is also created from God, it's created in a way that is not the good, the godliness is not revealed in it at all. It's mamish concealed completely. And from this comes all the souls and the bodies of the animals, and as well the nations of the world and all the vegetation. The animals that are not kosher, all their energy comes from the 3 impure klipos, while the animal soul, as we're about to get into right now, and the permissible things that are not evil, they're just permissible, they're in the middle, they get their vitality from klipas nega. And so too, the vitality of our thoughts, speech, and actions, and the 365 negative mitzvahs also gets its energy from the 3 impure klipas. Okay, so we spoke about Kedusha, spoke about Klipa, generally 2 categories of Klipa, and now let's go deeper into the Klipas Nega, which is connected to the Jewish animal soul, and as well everything in the world that is not forbidden. Perek Zayin. Ach, Nefesh Achiyoni, Sabamis, Shemitzah, Aklipa, now this vital soul, it's called the vital soul. Why? Because it enlivens your body. When the Torah says that the soul is in the blood, refers to the animal soul. The animal soul is in the blood. Nefesh badamhi. The animal soul in the blood. The soul in the blood is the animal soul, and it's also called the vital soul because it gives you life physically. It's your physical life. It's your animal soul, and this soul comes from klipa, which is enclosed in the blood of man. Now we explained that we're about to see right now that this comes from klipas nega. Klipas nega means the klipa of light. Nega means light. That means on one side it's a klipa, it's a concealment. On the other side it's nega, it's light. There's both concealment, layer of klipa, and also nega, which is light. And that is that klipa which has both good and evil. V'nafshes, behemes, v'chayes, v'eifes, v'dagim, tehirim, mutarim, ba'achila. And so to the souls of animals and wild animals and birds and fish that are pure and permissible to be eaten. The Torah says we're allowed to eat. So to the sustainment and the vitality of all inanimate objects and even the vegetations that are permissible to eat. All these things come from the klipas nega. Because it's not negative, it's not positive, it's not negative, it just is. that exists. They're permissible. As the author was saying, mutar also means it's released. It's not trapped on the other side, as we explained in the earlier chapter. It's released. V'chen kiyum v'chayis kol ha'ma'aseh dibur machshav b'nei olam hazeh. She'ein behen tzad isur le'ishash v'lei anav mishasa miz le'saseh v'anfem d'raseh v'd'abon n'ak she'ein l'shem shemayim elarot naguf v'chaseh v'tavas. So too, the sustainment and the vitality of all of the actions, word, and thoughts we have in the world. For example, eating, sleeping, business, all the natural thoughts we have in this world, which is not forbidden per se. It's not a forbidden thing to think about food. It's not forbidden to think about business, to think about sleeping. It's not forbidden, but it's just not holy. They're not connected to the 365 negative mitzvahs of biblical or rabbanon or rabbinical. Just that they're not for the sake of heaven. Do you do it for your own sake, for my will, or my bodily needs, and my physical temptation? And even if you're going to do it for the right reasons, for your body's health, but your kavanah is not to serve Hashem with your body. You want to do it because you want to be healthy, you want to sustain yourself. Okay, it's nice, you need it, but you're not doing it for the sake of heaven. These are not better than the actions, the words, and the thoughts of the vital animal soul itself. And all of that we just said is being vitalized and drawn and affected from the second klipa called the klipas nego, the fourth klipa. So again, everything that is in the natural world, the animal soul, permissible animals, permissible foods, chicken, fish, whatever is permissible, kosher. But that's mahadrin, whatever you want to call it, it's kosher. And all the daimim, salt, a rock, whatever, it's not evil, it is nature. And all the vegetation, the trees, the fruits, all that comes out of it. That's not forbidden. It's permissible. And also all the vitality of all my thoughts, speech, and action that isn't for the sake of heaven. Even if it's for the needs of my body, but it's not for the sake of heaven, to serve Hashem with a healthier body, then these are not better than the negativity of the animal soul, and everything is vitalized from the klipas nega. This second category, the fourth klipa, called the klipas nega. Meaning there's light over there, but it's concealed by the klipa, by the helam, the hester of the klipa. In this world was called the world of action. The majority, just like the entirety of this world, is called evil. Evil means complete concealment of Hashem, separation from God. And so this world in general has this klipas nega. It conceals the vitality. So we know there's four worlds. I mean, Atzilus is the world of only good. There's no evil at all. The world of Bria is the beginning of evil, the beginning of a self-feeling. Itzira is half and half. And Asiya is majority evil. And a little good is in this world. But in this world, it's like you have a klipa that's mamish kechulirat, almost like evil, like all evil. And that's the klipas nega, because it's in between. It can either be good or bad. And it can either be part of the majority evil, or empower the minority of good and transform the world. There's only a little bit of good. If you look in the world, by the way, the whole world, we're not trying to blame the world as being an evil world. In truth, the world is a good world, and its essence and its inner state, everyone really means well. But look at the world in an outside, external way. So much ego, so much strife, so much competition, so much so much cheating, so much negative words and negativity, so much things going on. Where's the good? There's a little ray of light, a little ray of truth. And yes, Baruch Hashem, we live majority. Our majority is good because we live yeshiva, live in Tzfat, live in Eretz Yisrael, right? But we're that minority. We're that minority of the whole world. We're that one little percentage of Bichlal, the whole world. And within Am Yisrael, we're that mamash, that little percentage of the percentage that sits in the Torah, that are in Eretz Yisrael. A very small percentage. We're here learning Torah all day. Very, very small. Not everyone does that. So we have the merit, and our job is to be that miut, taiv, that's going to, little light dispels much darkness. That's our avodah. We are that little light that could dispel much, much darkness, the majority of the darkness. right? The little candle can dispel the much darker than a whole room. So we are that light. But in the world out there, in case you didn't know, or you know and you forgot, or you just came from the world, wherever you're holding, the world is a world of concealment. And therefore it's called Alma de Shikra, the world of lies. And the truth is very, very much hidden. And you have to reveal the truth in this world. And from that little good in the world comes the good attributes that the nefesh abamis, the Jewish animal soul, has. In our animal soul, there's a little good over there. And that little good is the truth we have within our own animal soul. And that klipas nega is the intermediary between the three complete impure klipas and the level of kedusha. It's in between. It's not good, it's not evil. It has both good and evil, klipa and nega, concealment and light. משקוס בית חיים, שם מתס ריש פרק ד' בשם הזהר, ופעם שנכנס באלה בבחינת ומדרגת הקדושה. דהיינו כשהטבע מערב בא, נסברר מהרע בגבר ואלה ונכלל בקדושה. Sometimes it's included inside the three impure klipas. Sometimes that klipa goes down to the depths of the klipas, and sometimes it's included inside Kedusha, depending on how we use it. So you can take something that's kosher, a nice steak, badat, edar, charedis, chabat, shkita, the whole 4 yards, and you can use it for your own temptations, not for the sake of heaven, because I just want to fress away. And then I'm using the vitality of that steak, the animal, and my vitality are included now in the three impure klipas completely. Or I could use it for the sake l'shem shamayim, to have obviously first of all a healthy body. That's number one. To take care of yourself, to get energy, to get focus, to pump your animal soul, to treat it. You know, sometimes just like you treat a child, you got to treat the animal soul. Give it a little bone, unless it devours it. They say about Meir Becerra in the 80s, back in the days when everyone was smoking. So he was a very healthy guy. He didn't really smoke. But one day, my father sees him outside the shul and he's having a cigarette. And he's like, Meir, what's going on? You're such a healthy guy. How can you be smoking a cigarette? So he said, he had a very strong French, Moroccan accent. He said, if I don't give my animal a little bone, it's going to devour me. Sometimes you got to give it a bone. But a bone. Don't give it a whole lot. Give it a little bone. Because if you don't give it a little of something, the animal soul is going to freak out, and God forbid, it's going to be like, you know what, that's it, I'm going all out in the klipa. No, you got to have it on the leash, and know when to feed it, know what to do it, you know what I'm saying? It's the idea of chesed. You're doing chesed to your animal soul. So, but you have to know how to do it. It's not just anything, anytime. To know how to do it. So, the union is that whatever we do in the Gashmis, the world, because so much we could avoid, right? We're physical people. But we got to do the Shem Shemayim. Shem Shemayim. First of all, we make a bracha. We say, Hashem, I'm doing it to empower me, to encourage me to be healthy, to get stronger, to serve you better. Right? Whatever we do, whether it's sleeping, business, and food, has to be for the sake of Shem Shemayim. Otherwise, that energy falls down into the three complete impure klipas, which could only be elevated when a yid does teshuvah. And that's because the animal soul, the klipa nega, which animal soul is from there, has a good that's mixed with it. And the avodah is that you have to refine that good, elevate it, and overcome. That the good has to overcome the evil of the animal soul. That's our task, is that the good of the animal soul should overcome the evil of the animal soul. The good over evil. Say, for example, again, derech mashal, someone who eats, we didn't have such a far mashal over here. Someone who eats a fat piece of ox, and he drinks a nice fragrant wine, to expand his mind for God and his Torah. Like Rabbi said, the Gemara explains in Baba Kama that Rav Nachman told Rava, the reason why I didn't tell you at night the halacha according to its truth was because I did not eat the meat of an ox. so I couldn't tell you the right halacha, the real halacha. My mind wasn't settled. And Rav Nachman also said, so long I didn't drink a revis of wine, my mind was not clear. So you see that the sages, and Rava said, that wine and fragrance, besamim, the incense, makes someone's mind smarter, wiser. I mean, these physical things, they open up. I mean, today you don't have to be too wise to understand. Sleep well, eat well, exercise, go for a run, shvitz abissal, breathe, move your body, meditate, do all these things. Nice hot mikveh or a ice bath. Whatever you do opens up the mind. Or if it's something physical that's obviously healthy and kosher, you do it. Something like a cup of wine, a nice meat, opens up the mind, opens up the heart for you to be able to learn Torah and even make a psak halacha. Or in order to do the mitzvah of Einik Shabbos, which is you have to have pleasure on Shabbos. So to have pleasure on Shabbos, you eat food, that's one of the ways. Or Yom Tov, you have to have proper wine and meat. All these things are L'Shem Shemayim. Azay nisbarer chayus abasar ve'ayayin sh'anishma meklipas nega ve'el Hashem ke'elu chekorban. Wow. Then if you do that for the sake of heaven, you refine the vitality of the meat and the wine that was beforehand influenced by the klipas nega, and now it is elevated to God like a korban. Imam is bringing a korban, so you can make a barbecue and have that elevated as a korban to Hashem. Because what's a korban? You elevate the animal to God on the mizbech to Hashem. It was consumed by the flames of God. Here, you're not actually bringing a physical korban, but you're eating meat that's becoming part of your flesh and blood and serving God with it. What are you doing? You're taking the energy of the meat, and now it's an energy that serves Hashem. It's a korban. So too, when you crack a joke to open up your mind, and to rejoice your heart for Hashem, for His turn, for God's service. You got to serve God with simcha. Like Rabbi used to do with the students, brother in Gemara. They used to first crack a joke, and then the rabbis laughed, and then he taught them a shiur. First you open up the senses, and then you're able to teach. That's how it is. That first Imam have to be able to open up the senses of the mind, of the heart, whether it's through physical means, food and drink, or a joke. Open up the mind, and then the students are much more vessels to receive the deep teaching they're about to listen from their teacher. Okay, this is all on the good side. Next time we're going to see on the what about someone who doesn't use it for the sake that it goes to the other side. The klipa, the three impure klippas, but the klipas nega as a middle intermediary between the kedusha on the other side. Well, so far we explained that our avodah is to elevate these things that are permissible for us. Meaning, how do we know if it's permissible? If it's not forbidden by Torah. If Torah doesn't consider one of the 365 negative mitzvahs, then it's permissible. And then you should use it only for the sake of heaven. Siyata dishmaya. Permissible? Huh?